robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Hey boys, how's it going? Week 11. Believe it or not, it is week 11. Just a quick preview there of our main sponsors.
Rough Draft Clothing. Check them out on Facebook. Newport, Rhode Island based clothing company. My friends Josh and Jason, proprietors, big and up in the world. So yeah, check out their page, please.
Hey boys, yes, it is I, Mick Lodge. Hey Clive.
Hi Mike.
All right, boys. It is Wednesday. It's 5 o'clock. We're getting our stuff together. Last week's show was a bit of a nightmare to put together, so we're not going to make the same mistake this week. We've got a lot to do. Late entry, Gary Murphy is going to be giving us his views on last week's Lions victory at the Packers. First time. He'll tell you all about that. Okay.
And about his trip to Wembley.
Straight on. All right, so basically, let's get to the news straight away.
All right. First news item, we had Peyton Manning surpassing the total yardage thrown record in his game last week, but also his worst game in an NFL jersey, throwing 5 picks. And the reason for this is he's suffering from something called plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, he's got a pain in his shit bone, basically.
Which is he has a tear in his plantar fascia, which is a ligament connecting the base of your heel to his toes.
No.
For those of you interested in science.
No. He's playing shit. Yeah, well, we've been talking about this all along, and like that one game against Green Bay, that was the what's the word I'm looking for?
It was the highlight of his year.
It was the highlight of his year. Yeah, but he was playing bad every other week, and that was his highlight. Or yeah, well, that was the. Oh, anyway, look, he's done. He's done for. Brock Osweiler, the 6'8", 6'7" giant of a man, seems to be the future. Well, this is being moved anyway. Gary Kubiak's offense all the way along, and we'll see. I think Peyton could have played his last game, or can you see him starting before the end of the year?
Who knows?
It depends how.
I don't think this QB2 is going to be any good. So if Manning can recover from this foot injury, I'd say we could definitely see him before the end of the season again.
They were bigging him up during the preseason. Like he played well enough.
Every team bigs up their QB2, and most of them are rubbish.
At the same time, yeah.
In fact, all of them are rubbish.
When your QB1 is pretty rubbish as well, what do you do? Like, you know, so.
Yeah. No, I reckon we'll see him for one last hurrah. I mean, they should make the playoffs after their 7-0.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Well, that's Manning was never great in the playoffs anyway. That was all. This is Achilles heel, especially depending on the weather, and so we shall have to. The jury is out. Yeah. I think Osweiler could be a runner, but we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah. All right, what's up next?
All right, the Cowboys have the return of Tony Romo this week, and they have subsequently cut 3 players. The ginger Brandon Whedon, who failed to do anything when he got a couple of games when Romo went down first.
Yeah, no, that was interesting. Romo's back, so he basically has to try and snap a 7-game losing streak. And funny, Brandon Whedon's, after getting jettisoned, they signed Matt Cassell when Romo got injured, and Whedon's the actual fall guy. So despite being one of the best quarterbacks in the world, according to Jerry, he still gets the
yeah.
See ya. They also got rid of Christine Michael, who they got from the Seahawks this year.
Yeah, and a cornerback, Corey White.
I don't know who the corner
who cares
White
about
is.
him, really.
Yeah, and they also, you said they're after signing
Robert Turbin. who was with the Seahawks last season and who was with the Browns.
Who was another failed Seahawks running back. They, if and when Marshawn Lynch ever, it's probably one more year in him after this. As bad as the Seahawks are going this year, I think there's going to be. I can't see any future for them once Marshawn Lynch goes up in flames.
What about Tommy Rawls?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, he actually is.
He did all right when he came in there, didn't he?
Doing all right. I suppose, the thing is, it's hard to see beyond the main starter. But then you look at the likes of Chicago. Jerry Langford is after setting the world on fire since
he's very impressive.
Gone,
yeah.
And this is Forte's in a contract season this year, I think, isn't he? I think Forte could be traded, or at this stage, his probably trade value is gone. When teams know that the Bears have a ready-made replacement, they won't be as willing.
I'd say he'll be on the move somewhere. He'll be getting big money somewhere.
If they get the days of running backs getting big money are over.
He's not going to get QB money, but he'll get
no.
He'll get $6 million a year somewhere. I think that was the figure.
It's not. I suppose it's a pittance in comparison to the Premiership.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Johnny Manziel has been given the backing of his coach, and Petain has said he's going to be the starter for the rest of the season, bar him going down with injury, just to blood him a bit, give him a bit of experience. Which they're trying to get him to be the future of the franchise.
Is this really called backing when your season is over? I mean, if they were actually going to back him,
well, maybe they're going for the tank the season. Let's tank the season for the number one pick kind of.
Yeah, mode. I don't know. Johnny Manziel promises so much and delivers so little. He's a great man for making the odd play here and there. But I think the majority of NFL teams want a bit more than that. They want stability, and not just in his personal life, which is still up in the air. But he just doesn't see. The college game. He's a typical one of these college players that when it comes to the NFL, it just doesn't translate. And I don't think he's going to be in the game within 2 or 3 years.
He's not consistent enough. I've seen a few of his games where he started out last week. He had an unbelievably good play where he shook off a couple of defenders and ended up running it in for a touchdown, but of course it came back for a holding penalty. But even in the couple of other games he started, he's had a couple of good drives showing some promise, but he just can't do it. He can't do it on the reg. So,
okay, anything else?
Just the Seahawks cut Super Bowl star Chris Matthews, who did he get 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl? Or 1?
I think he got 2 touchdowns.
I think he might have got 2.
He got the one. He torched Arrington that time. Yeah, he got the one just before with 6 seconds to go in the first half. And did he get one in the third quarter as well?
And he's been totally left in the shade all season. But he hasn't been.
Yeah, I
getting
was
snaps.
Actually harbouring hopes from once at the start of the season. I actually drafted him in the fantasy, thinking I'd be extra sneaky, and after. He hardly saw a snap all season. He's in and out. Very very rarely. Yeah. He's definitely number 4 wide receiver there. But who did they signed some other? Did they sign a wide receiver from their practice?
Not that I don't know. They may well have done, but they didn't mention it.
I remember seeing something on NFL.com there, but
it wasn't mentioned.
Have we finished the news?
News are finished, yeah.
Yeah, are we just going to review a couple of last week's games?
Just go back over last week's games, and see if there are any of them are worth talking about. Okay. Start with the Thursday night football, the big divisional game, which was a bit of a field goal fest in the end, with the Bills going to the Jets and winning 22-17. I watched this game. I didn't think it was. I thought it was too kind of, there's a lot of these run-of-the-mill teams in the NFL this year. They're just in the middle. They'll beat each other on alternate weeks. And the Bills were the better team on the night, and they got the win.
Yeah, but I suppose neither team really impressed on the night. And the Bills impressed the least, the most, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think the Bills were 22-3 up at halftime, if I remember correctly. So they didn't score a point in the second half, and they still managed to run out winners.
Yeah.
So
And the other bit of news there actually isn't it? Ryan Fitzpatrick's after going for surgery, isn't he? I think Gino starting this week.
No, I don't know.
All right, not too sure. We'll suss it out. We might hear from our buddy Decky later on. Not. All right, let's move on.
All right, the Redskins put a huge number up on the Saints. I mean, since it might even been earlier than this time last year, I've been asking the question as to how Rob Ryan is still in a job. He must have some incriminating photos of the owner.
Newsflash.
Of the Saints or something.
Newsflash. Rob Ryan was sacked. He was sacked.
He was sacked
He
today?
was sacked.
Was it today?
Yesterday. Yeah, you must have missed that.
Must have missed that one.
Yeah, they showed a picture of him getting into his black Mercedes Jeep down in Noylands. And
well, I mean, it's a
year. It was a
year too late.
Like we've been
but
talking.
It's a year too late.
Yeah, we've been saying it for ages. Like how
when the Redskins under Kirk Cousins can score 47 points on you, it's it's the last straw.
Well, there's talks about Sean Payton leaving as well, isn't he? And going to Tennessee next year.
Yeah,
and maybe just go over a clean sweep. But like the whole thing with the Saints is that they're in big trouble cap wise. They're absolutely up their oxters with players leveraged, and like even like the Junior Gillette scenario last year, they ended up dropping him, but like I think they're still paying millions towards him. They're in a sorry state.
Yeah, the franchise is in big trouble. They need a lot of changes to turn it around. The season is a bust for them now at 4-6, bottom of a terrible division. Well, bar Carolina, who are actually aren't doing too badly, but yeah, they just need to run out the season now. Okay, we'll move on to the biggest upset of the weekend, possibly the entire season. We're just talking about the Lions beating the Packers at Lambeau with Gary there.
Yeah. No, we'll just move on.
We'll move on from this one. We were talked enough about that. Yeah, and the less said about the next game, the better. The Bucks beating the Cowboys 10-6 at home. Good win for the Bucks. Cowboys without Romo lose again. Simple as that. Carolina beat Tennessee in Nashville 27-10. The Carolina steam train rolls on to 9-0. I thought the Titans would have put up a bit of a better showing than this, but it wasn't to be.
Yeah, enough said. Moving on.
Okay. Bears went to the Rams, caused a big upset with a 24-point win, 37-13. I personally thought the Rams would win this one. The Bears are on a bit of a roll at the moment. No,
yeah, the Bears are winning the usual story. Like the Bears are winning games that they probably have no right to be winning on paper, and the Rams, they can turn over Seattle and win a couple of other big games when they're not expected to, and then when you expect them to win, they just don't seem to turn up. Todd Gurley didn't really do anything.
He got off to a flyer.
And
I was expecting a big game out of him.
I think that there's a big is actually Nick Foles had an absolute mare of a game.
He's been benched. Yeah,
he's been benched. So
for
like that
Case Keenum.
That big Case Keenum, the ex-Texans. Did they sign him from the Texans, or was he after?
Yeah, well, he was with the Texans anyway last season.
He was. They're after picking him up from somewhere else. Was it? I don't know where the bloody hell he was. He's just one of these QBs that are floating around from club to club. But Nick Foles, I mean, he was the big part of the trade for Sam Bradford. He just.
That trade is just one. As we've said before, one bad QB for another.
One bad QB for another. Yeah. All right.
All right. So
enough of Bradford. We'll get on to in a minute.
Enough of that one. Another upset: the Dolphins beating the Eagles in Philly land. The Eagles went out to a 16-3 lead. And sure, no one would have predicted that the Dolphins could come back from that kind of a deficit. But yeah, lo and behold, they end up winning 2019 and putting themselves back in the playoff picture.
They're in the outside.
The outskirts, yeah. But I mean,
a same thing again. Two poor teams, and we were wondering about, and I was one of the main guys. Mea culpa. I put my hand up here. I was asking why wasn't Sanchez being brought on? And as Decky said, when you see him playing, you'll know why. Yeah, and
we found out why.
We found out why. I mean, and they still had a chance to win the game, didn't they? With a late drive.
Oh, they did, yeah.
Well, he wasn't helped by his receivers either. Was it DeMarco Murray dropped a ball that was like just tossed to him, like anybody could catch it. It was Jordan Matthews dropped the one of the little wide receivers as well. Just dropping easy balls, and it makes Sanchez look bad.
Just a clusterfuck.
Just a complete, just a head wreck.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get the required 10 yards down. They ended up Sanchez getting sacked, didn't he? I think, and they ended up out of field goal range. Game over. So there's like so many teams this year are in turmoil that they can't seem to stability.
Can't just string two performances together.
So it's an absolute nightmare betting wise this year. I mean, we'll get to our pick scenario in a minute, but like there hasn't been hardly a week where we've been over 500.
No.
There's been no week where we've been over 500.
No, I think 500's the best performance
so
we've put in.
You put your money where your mouth is, but I wouldn't certainly be putting. Yeah, it's a good way of throwing money down the drain is betting on the NFL.
All right, moving on. Will the Jags went to the Ravens, and the huge talking point at the end of this game was there was the clock had run out, and there was a face mask by Elvis Dumerville.
Elvis has left the building. Afterwards, it actually turns out that there was a false formation by the Jaguars, and the game should have been over. It should have been a 10-second runoff. Game over.
Yeah, that wasn't spotted.
And the NFL came up with this afterwards. And in fairness to the NFL, like you'd ever hear the guy saying, "But right, no, we should have done this." Like they actually put their hands up. I'm sure Baltimore are delighted that they did.
I know, but there's so many rules in the NFL. It's hard. I don't know how the referees keep track of all of the rules.
Obviously, I didn't know that the game can't end on a defensive penalty either. So that's why they.
But it was just a crazy finish. A 15-yard penalty. All of a sudden, they weren't in field goal range. Then with the penalty, they were, and I think it was like a 55-yarder, and the guy had already missed a chip shot in the game. The kicker, whose name escapes me now, but of course he slots the 55-yarder for the win, and another win for the Jags. The Ravens season just goes from shit to even shitter. Right, moving on. The Browns got hockeyed by the Steelers.
Landry Jones had a great game.
Yeah.
He went off after 5 minutes.
Yeah. Big Ben as the reserve QB came on in.
You Landry Jones in the skies. You Landry Jones in the skies.
Don't quit your day job. First time ever a backup quarterback has come off the bench and thrown for nearly 400 yards. It was a shit show for the Browns, like it seems to be every week. Okay, Vikings went to the inform Oakland Raiders and did a number on them big time.
Yeah, this was an interesting game. I watched most of this live, and Adrian Peterson was awesome. He was just unbelievable.
He's really coming into form now, right at the right time.
He's untackleable. He's got a jink, like he's north south, but then he can he just feints one way, goes the other way, hits the gap, and he's through. He had a 70 or 80 yard touchdown, didn't he? Just cantered into the end zone. Like the Raiders, they've been in our thoughts a lot because of the bet between yourself and Decky. But they're still one or two players away from being a formidable force, but they're definitely going in the right direction. Now, we didn't actually bring the Alden Smith scenario in, a linebacker who they signed from San Francisco last year, but he was caught for PEDs, which I think that was a carryover from his days in San Francisco, so he's out for the year as well. But they still have plenty of ammunition there in the linebacking core with Malcolm Smith, from who they signed from the Seahawks, who was the MVP of the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and obviously Khalil Mack, who everybody's raving about. But yeah, would you want to have a quick chat there about your bet with Decky?
Yeah, I mean, going into it, we were the Raiders are 4-4. Obviously, I don't want the Raiders to get to 8 wins, and this was a game. I was looking at the Raiders' remaining matches. Was a game I was hoping that the Vikings would win, and thankfully they did. And it was pretty convincing. I don't think the Raiders can consider themselves unfortunate. Anyway, they were just outplayed. And they go to 4-5. So of their 7 remaining games, I need them to lose 4. It's going to go down. I'd say it could well go down to the very last game.
Yeah, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So what's
moving on to the game of the week? Excitement wise, maybe not thrilling scoring wise, but my Patriots did it again. Came back scoring, winning 2-minute drill to win by a point over the Giants. Shout out to my friend Pierce Wise, big Giants fan. Yeah, right.
Hey, this has been going on now for weeks.
I know. Yeah, I said I'd give him a shout out every week, and
Wisey,
yeah,
Wisey.
I'll mention him this week because we beat them. But he supports a few different teams, so he wasn't too upset.
I thought he was a Jets fan.
Yeah, he was once upon a time, but sure.
Right, yeah, okay.
Anyway, great game. To and fro. The lead changing hands every possession pretty much. And Patriots go 9-0 and are looking, by, in my opinion, a distance the best team in football at the moment.
Yeah, well, they had the usual rub of the green as well. The Giants, I can't remember which guy it was now, went up, intercepted Brady, and didn't manage to hold on to the ball all the way down.
Well, that technically isn't interception if you don't hold on to the ball. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, so he didn't intercept him.
And
actually.
was there another controversial catch in that game, or was that some other game?
No, that was some other game.
Yeah, the catch rule. This.
No, it was that game.
It was. Yeah, I think it was that game.
Odell Beckham caught the ball but didn't take it to the ground. Not a catch, no touchdown. Them's the rules. You got to live by the rules.
What's his name? Malcolm Butler made a great play on the
ball.
Malcolm
Butler had a fantastic game.
Yeah, he was outstanding that game.
Yeah, it was a breakout game for him, I think. Anyway, look,
a breakout game after
breakout. But all right, we'll just get through these last 3. The Chiefs winning at the Broncos. We covered this already. Manning throwing 5 picks, getting the Chiefs off to a huge start, and the second half was they got a few points in garbage time with Brock, and yeah, it was a pretty shit game. Seahawks 4-5, losing at home to the Arizona Cardinals after going behind by 19 points, then making a comeback to go to lead by 2 or 3, and it all looked rosy going into the fourth quarter. Seahawks gonna get the win, but fair play to the Cardinals. They came back, got 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and just ran down the clock and took it out. Great win, great performance all around. Seahawks in big trouble.
Next game.
Texans beat the Bengals 10-6 on Monday Night Football. Jesus, I mean, what a coupon buster this was for anyone who was backing accumulators. I don't watched the game. I don't know how it happened, but yeah, Dalton just went back to the Dalton of every other season.
And then of course there's a bit of controversy about JJ Watt.
JJ Watt had a bit of a
pop, but it wasn't really well.
That they were expecting the red rifle and they got the red BB gun. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
and then Andy Dalton gets upset about it, saying JJ Watt is bringing the game into disrepute, and it was just real. Dalton didn't show any class there. I didn't think anyway.
JJ Watt.
But I mean,
it was a bit of
you got to take your beatings.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he called him a ginger prick or anything. He just it was a harmless jibe in my opinion. And Dalton needs to get over himself a bit. Right, so that was all last week's games. We gave the Oakland side bet update. And now we'll go. Now we haven't had a cruise report for a few weeks because he's been on the mend, and apparently he was going to make a comeback. But it was released this week that he's out for the season.
Hallelujah! That is the last cruise report of the season. End the story.
Right, so we'll move on to action.
Boom.
All right, moving on to the picks for this coming weekend, Thursday night football. The one we've all been waiting for, the match of the season so far, the divisional game between the Titans and the Jags. Jags at home, -3. I've gone for the Titans plus the points. Do you reckon?
Jags at home
To the Titans, yeah.
Jags at -3, is it?
Yep.
I think that Titans will win, and they will. Obviously, they will cover. Yeah, they will cover.
Okay. Dallas at Miami. Miami -1. This was a tough one. Now Romo's back. What are your thoughts on this one? I actually haven't made a pick yet.
Tannekill, or as Tannabomb as they start calling him now.
All right. Hilarious from the Miami faithful.
Yeah, well, that's
a real good one.
I actually got that one from one of my Twitter followers, or a guy I follow on Twitter.
Tell him stick to the day job.
Who's actually does an American football show, or sports show, CBS affiliate down in Florida.
Yeah.
So I think Miami will win, will they? I know Romo. They think he's God incarnate, and in fairness, he has carried that team a long way. But like DeMarco Murray did a fair bit of the heavy lifting there last year as well. Des Bryant just seems to be gone loopy at the moment.
But I think he'll be more productive with Romo.
Yeah, but the thing is, like the dressing room seems to be in turmoil. Greg Hardy was missed a meeting, so there seems to be nobody in charge. Jason Garrett is like he's like the postman. He's like one of those school teachers that when the kids come in, they run riot. They just run all over him, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you're taking the Tunas.
Take the Tunas. Yeah.
All right, me too. Denver go to the Bears. Bears -1 versus Brock.
Whoa.
This was an easy one. It's the Bears at home. They are riding the form train, which normally is bad news for teams this season. But like Denver's D is good, but I think home field advantage. Denver with a quarterback that's unproven, not many games under his belt. It's an easy pick for me. Bears -1.
Akeem Talib is still. How many games did he get?
No, he's back. No, he only got a one game.
He only got a one gamer.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is going to be a make or break game. Well, it's not exactly make or break, but it's Denver. Where are they at? Obviously, there's a big questions over the quarterback situation, but the whole identity of the Denver team as well. They just took a pounding last week. I'm going to take Denver.
Okay.
I can't believe that the Bears are only have -1.
Yeah. Okay. Two teams that were on bye last week meet. Indy go to Atlanta. Hasselback will be in for Indy. We're assuming. There's no noise out of Indy to suggest that Luck will be playing, and Atlanta are just aren't free fall. The bye week came at a good time for them. Atlanta -6 is the spread, and it's a tough one as well. I took Indy with the points. Hasselback is 2-0 as Indy quarterback.
He's actually one of the surprising, and he's like probably the oldest guy in the league. I say, is he? He's nearly 40, or is he? He's over 40. I will take Atlanta as well. Maybe
as well as
no. I will take I'll take the Colts. I'll take the Colts.
Okay. Jets go to Houston. We got no spread because we don't know who's going to QB for Houston, whether Hoyer's going to be back or if it's going to be TJ Yates. who led them to the unlikeliest of wins on Monday night. Assuming it's a level playing field on the points, I've taken the Jets to stop their recent downslide. Let's put it that way. I think the Texans, they had a good result at Cincy. Of course,
they had a good result.
But I don't think they can. I don't think they'll build on it. The team isn't good enough.
Yeah.
You in agreement, Jets?
It's just there seems to be no form line whatsoever this year. How can you, Houston, who looks so miserable all season, take down the 8-0 Cincinnati Bengals? Yeah, I suppose logic says the Jets. You can't see them losing. But you would have said the same. Put your house on. You would have said that the Cincinnati were the banker.
I said last week I thought they'd win by 30.
In a week, yeah.
I thought they'd win by 30, 35 points, but they didn't. So, all right. Oakland go to the Lions. Now, I will be hoping for a Lions win for my 8-win bet on Oakland, but I'm taking Oakland minus 1.5 points because the Lions can't score points, it seems. And Oakland can score points. And they seem to be a better team on the road than they do at home, Oakland. Oakland's deficiencies are in defense, and I don't think the Lions can exploit that because their offense is actually fairly poor. I disagree with Gary. I think Stafford is a terrible quarterback and certainly isn't a franchise quarterback and won't be there next season. So I'm taking Oakland minus 1.5.
I agree.
Okay. Rams go to Baltimore. Baltimore, who got, unjustly done at the final whistle last week, host the Rams, who, who knows what they're going to do. So I've got the Ravens are at home minus 2. I've taken the Ravens. I don't know why, but I have. There you go.
I'll go with the Rams. Surely last week's game will be.
Case Keenum led Rams.
Well, they're a bit like Philadelphia.
I think they're QB proof.
QB proof.
Yeah.
Like basically just run the ball.
And
trick play to Trey Mason or. Did Decker feature last week? I didn't actually see any.
He played all right.
Game.
He got a touchdown, I think.
Did he? Yeah. All right.
But Decker plays for the Jets, so I don't know why you're bringing him into it.
No, it's the who did this? I always get Decker and what's the guy that was with New England and then with Wes Welker. I always get Wes. I said this last week, didn't I? I always get Wes Welker and Eric Decker mixed up.
Well, yeah, I don't know if Welker actually did get any catches last week. Anyway, moving on. Bucks go to Philly. Philly minus 5.5. I've been taking the Bucks all season long with the points, and today this match is no different. I'll take the plus 5.5 on offer here, considering Sanchez is going to be playing. Is going to be starting for Philly, and Winston is doing okay.
Yeah, Winston got a nice jog in for a touchdown there late against the Cowboys. And Mike Evans is still not really producing the goods either, though. He's dropping a lot of balls. Just for the sake of the competition, I'll go against you and I'll take the Eagles.
Okay. Skins, after a huge win against Saints this weekend, go to the one of two only undefeated teams in the NFL, Carolina. Carolina are minus 7. I've taken Carolina to go 10-0. Minus 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the reborn Chiefs, since their Wembley demolition, have looked pretty good. They go to San Diego, who have not looked very good for quite some time. Spread is KC minus 3. San Diego have lost pretty much all their receiving core, bar Stevie Johnson, and I've taken KC minus 3.
Yeah, I suppose Kansas City I was actually touting them at the start of the season. They lost a couple of games, like they lost the game early on to to Denver where they had a fumble. Jamal Charles had a fumble in the last 30 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
Instead of just taking a knee.
That was
and
robbery.
going to the
That was robbery.
overtime. And they had one or two other games there where they just couldn't seem to get the ball. But that's their old failing. They can't. As Macklin has made a difference to them.
But this Charkandrick West has been
he's
phenomenal.
He's been lighting it up, and funny
Phenomenal.
enough, they actually seem to be scoring more since the injury to Jamal Charles.
He's like Langford for the Bears. He's come in and plugged in straight away and hasn't missed a beat. He's been phenomenal.
So what you
KC -3 is what I've taken. Away to San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego. Like who's going to be there? I'm a bit worried. Philip Rivers is my backup QB. I think as Andrew Luck is injured. I'll have to play. But who's his targets?
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Woodhead. Where are you?
You're going to make a pick sometime today, maybe?
I'm cogitating. You got to say that the Chiefs will win it.
Yeah. Right. One of the matchups of the week. Green Bay on the back of 3 defeats, 2 of which were against 2 undefeated teams, but losing at home to the Lions last week was a franchise low, I think. They go to the Vikings, big divisional game. Vikings off a great win in Oakland. Vikings are -1 in the spread at home. But I am of the opinion that anytime you can get a team with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback plus points, you should take it. And I'm hoping for a big bounce back from Green Bay, get their Super Bowl run back on track. So I'm taking Green Bay plus 1 point.
So they're both 6-2 now, aren't they?
No, 6-3 and 7-2. Vikings are 7-2.
7-2. So if the
Vikings win, they
won this,
they go 3 games clear, is it, or 2?
2 games, yeah.
2 games clear.
Well, obviously they have to go back. They have to go back to Green Bay as well, don't they? Or have they played already?
I don't think they've played already.
Yeah, so that
I could be wrong though.
Some of those games, they kind of those head-to-heads kind of come in a glut at the end of the season. Generally, don't they?
Yeah, I think this is the first of the So it's not by any means a divisional decider, but it'll go a long way to deciding it.
Of course, yeah.
So what do you reckon?
I'd have to agree with you there. Like Aaron Rodgers getting points, but saying that, I thought Adrian Peterson, as I said already, was
he's the other side of the coin.
Week.
Then,
well, then the other side is Teddy Bridgewater still has done nothing.
No,
and their wide receiving core, Diggs had a poor enough game there now last week. Mike
they
Wallace
still put 30 points up on the board though, you know.
Yeah, a lot of them were kind of freaky. Look, I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Okay,
Ride the Viking.
all right. Another divisional game. The Niners just off a bye week and a win under their new franchise quarterback, Blaine Gabbert. Go to the Seahawks. Dick Link. And what's this? What do you think the spread on this is? As a guess.
I'd say Seahawks -3.
The spread is the Seahawks -12.5.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The Seahawks -12.5.
Have to take the Niners there. How can you go to Seahawks? They're struggling to get over. I know they did get 30 points last week, but they've struggled to get over 25 points or 20 points on a consistent basis.
Yeah, you got to take the points here.
Have to take the points. Yeah.
Okay. Sunday night football sees Cincinnati go to Arizona. Cincinnati lost their undefeated record last week, a couple of days ago, and the Cardinals seem to be going from strength to strength. The spread is Cardinals at home -4.5. Now, again, this is a tough one. I think Cincy will be,
you'd expect them to
gathering the troops
to come back after losing
such an
the game.
unexpected loss.
I suppose it's kind of weird to us, but it is actually very unusual in American football for a team to go undefeated. It's happened so very, very rarely, and that's because the NFL is designed for parity. Because obviously you finish badly one year, you've got the first pick. So after a couple of years, the teams should all be level again. Like, so that's why somebody like the Pats is so unusual these days for a dynasty to be there for year in, year out.
Yeah, I reckon the Pats will lose a game somewhere along the line. But
well, a lot of times then
not to get sidetracked.
Being undefeated is like a yoke around their neck. The teams actually prefer to lose a game.
The longer the streak goes on, the tougher it is to keep it going.
Yeah, and it's like as I said, it's like an albatross around the neck.
Yeah.
So this could be actually liberating for Cincinnati.
Well, I've taken Cincinnati plus 4.5 in Arizona for a bounce back. Might not win, but I'm taking them to cover the points anyway.
Okay, I'll take the Cardinals here.
Okay,
you leave me no choice.
Well, yeah, we don't have many games different, so we might as well do that.
Me into it.
Okay, and lastly, the Monday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills go to the undefeated Patriots. The spread is Patriots -7. I take it Foxborough Patriots tend to put up at least 30 points on everybody. Can I see the Bills getting 23? No, is the answer. Patriots -7. Thank you very much.
I think I'll just man-mark you here. I don't even want to...
You can't really go against that. I wouldn't think. Yeah. Going again. Okay. That's all the picks.
And can you just give us the update there on the scores?
Yeah. What did I say they were earlier? I can't even remember. Okay, I have it here. I have 40 correct picks and you have 39 after last week. Now, I don't know what the total amount of games is, but it's well over 100, I would think. So don't be
following up.
Yeah, if you're having a bet, don't be listening to us. We don't know a whole lot.
Well, like obviously, like I don't actually look at the game. Well, I probably should be looking.
Gamble responsibly, people.
Gamble responsibly. Yeah.
Oh, that's drink responsibly, isn't it?
Well, drink and gamble responsibly.
Yeah. Okay. The 4 teams on bye this coming week: Pittsburgh, Giants, Nolans, and the Bears. No, that's not the Bears. The Browns. Can't even read my own writing. Cleveland Browns. Okay, so that's it for the picks. We're going to move on to fantasy.
Yep. So, do you want to start?
We'll start off the fantasy section.
How did we do?
Okay, we're going to just go over last week's 6 matchups.
Do we have to?
Yeah, I'm of the same belief. I lost to Decky. Brady is a cheat, 115 to 107. Very close matchup. The difference was Decky's trio of Cardinals players scored 60 points between them on the Sunday Night Football after I was holding a nice lead. And Palmer, Floyd, and the kicker of all fucking people,
Canton.
They all got the bones of 20 points each, which required me to get 20 points from the Bengals D and JJ Watt, who is underperforming usually in the IDP scenario this year. So that moves me to 8-2. Decky goes up to 7-3. We are first and second place respectively. Second game, Duff lost again. Sorry, Chris.
Surprise.
To Choppers, this time 87-76. Moving Choppers to 4-6, and with a squeak of a playoff place, Duffers is going to be getting the first pick next year. Oh, no, he's not, because we don't do it that way. He's going to finish bottom more than likely. Okay, Champagne Fever played the boss here, winning 108-67.
My worst fantasy week of the
demolition, it has to be said.
Yeah, not even.
Peterson did you big time. 27 points for Peterson. Eric Decker, or is it Wes Welker? That's going to be an ongoing joke now. Eric Decker getting 14.5. And your guys just didn't do it.
Yeah, nothing going on.
You've got quarterback trouble. So that leaves Mike at 5-5, just outside the playoff positions. Champagne Fever, Dino at 6-4 in the playoff positions. So That was a big result for
Yeah,
him.
we flipped because I was ahead of Dino. No, I think I was in third or fourth last week.
Yeah.
Now I've gone down to 7.
You're alternating. You're win loss.
Yeah, I thought, but I've been playing soldier football all week.
Yeah.
Left, right. What was there one more game?
There's 3 more games.
All right. Come on, just get through them quickly there.
Lucky Jimmy beat
the table.
Fox 102-68.
I'm actually going to flick up the table here, okay?
Polly put in another great performance, 152. Huge score to beat Patrick's Pint Lodgers, who's now lost 2 on the bounce. They're both in the playoff picture. Nasib beat Bucking Pats 101-74, leaving Bucking Pats in trouble 4-6.
Bucking Pats they've had a right slide, haven't they? They're after losing 4 or 5 on the bounce at this stage. I think, haven't they?
Yeah, I'll just you can see it on the table there. The streak will be on that. Bucking Pats have lost 5 on the bounce.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So we'll actually, I actually have. So Pats for Brady, Point Lodgers, Polly's. You can see Duff Broncos down the end. So Lucky Jimmy's and Bucking Pats.
Anyone who's 4 and 6 or better
still have an outside chance.
still have a very good chance.
So I actually updated the league during the week as well. So if we press this, you can see the playoff situation. So the top 6 go into the playoffs, as you can see there now. Queeve is still, Pats for Lombardi is still leading the playoffs and gets a bye. So that'll be week 14. So you won't be playing week 14. If you
never know. You never know, Michael.
Stay where you are.
You never know.
Decky also has the bye. So 4 plays 5 at the moment is Polly's versus Champagne Fever, and 3 plays 6. So that's Point Lodgers and Nasib. And there's actually in the consolation, I'm top of the charts there in the consolation. So most guys will actually there's actually playoffs of the playoffs as well. There's like 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th place playoffs. So nearly everybody will have.
I don't concern myself with stuff like that.
Yeah, well, basically, everybody will have a game.
Yeah.
All the way down until week 17. So I just thought that was a bit better this year.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just gives. Yeah.
Okay, just any notable waivers from today. The biggest one being, once again, Polly has done the flip flop. How many is it now? Crockashit Gilmore. He's picked him up again. This is his probably 3rd or 4th time picking him up.
At least. Well, I look, mea culpa. I'm actually after picking up Danny Amendola after dropping him 2 weeks
that's
ago.
only everyone's,
that was because
everyone's done that.
Yeah.
Everyone's picked the guy up and dropped him again and picked him up again. But 3-4 times in the season, that's you can't knock Polly at the moment. He's the form horse. He's 1-5 on the spin in 4th place on the table, looking good for the playoffs. Playing the big dog here next to me this week.
Yeah.
He's getting worried. Very worried.
I am. I just think it's going to be just like last year, where I'm outside the playoff section again, and I ain't going to be good at like.
There's not really any other waivers of any note. Jimmy picking up Alfred Morris. Morris hoping for a bit of a resurgence at running back for the Skins. Don't know about that. Duff picked up Big Ben. I didn't even realise that he was available to be picked up, so that's a great pickup.
Well, there was a trade last week, wasn't there? Choppers traded.
It was a bad quarterback for 2 bad players, so
Brees,
you couldn't really vote against that. It was Drew Brees for Jones, Matt Jones, is it?
Yeah.
Wide receiver Cincinnati, and Eric Ebron. I mean, it's like 2 small pieces of shit for 1 large one. So I mean, you couldn't vote against that.
If this was 2012, we something about it. But
you're quoting the league there, aren't you?
No,
that was a quote of the league. One of the episodes of this season's league. Yeah.
No.
If you've never seen a show called The League, watch it. Very good.
Yeah.
Duff picked up Big Ben. Not that he's going to help him in any way, but because he's consigned to last. Well,
spot. He
might get second last.
Be a keeper. He could be a keeper for next year.
Oh yeah, he could be a keeper for next year. That's true. All right. To finish up, we'll just.
Actually, I want to say one thing as well. Last year, for Thanksgiving, we had a bit of an old night down here. This year, are we going to do that? We're going to do something.
I'll be here anyway.
This year, yeah.
I'll be here.
That'll be the Thursday. I think it's the 29th. Is it of November?
No, it's the 26th.
26th.
Yep.
I remember last year. Was that last year or the year before? It was, because I went away to
The day after. You went to Hamburg the day after.
Oh yeah, no, it was that night, because I remember watching the. Did you go away before the last game? Because I remember I was watching the Seahawks, and the Seahawks beat the 49ers.
Yeah,
And I stayed up all night.
Yeah. Either way,
look, we want to get those sausage rolls again, choppers, because they were
downright
beautiful.
delicious.
They were beautiful.
And we'd like to see more of the fantasy guys down. It's kind of like the annual league night out, and our max participation.
Basically, it's you and me.
Yeah, no, we had 4 last year. We had Polly last year.
Polly was there. Yeah,
and we
Polly come
Choppers
along.
popped in.
Chops. Fox is probably working, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Fox
So if
used to
anyone
work,
wants to come down,
yeah.
there'll be food, drink, good times.
And a bit of banter.
Yeah, a bit of banter. All right, just to finish up, we'll quickly go through this week's fantasy matchups. Only 3 regular weeks left to make the playoffs. So everybody pay attention to their teams. Fox.
Everybody dance now. Boom.
Yellow card for Fox
Boom,
this
boom,
week for
boom.
not changing his team.
Well, I think Fox is actually on his way to the OHS game tonight, isn't he, or at the weekend? Ohio State.
He is. That's no excuse for not changing your team, though. It only takes 5 minutes.
Well, like, what do you think about his video performance last week?
Yeah, it was.
How did he get Pascal Sheehy?
that was good. Plastic sheeting, as they say on the gift grub. Right, so I'm playing Fox this week. So I'm projecting 114 against his 101.
And you're also playing him the next week as well. That's
how
that.
It was. I assumed that everybody was playing the same person the week after, but it's the random fixture generator has generated that I play him 2 weeks in a row.
We all play somebody twice anyway. So that's just weird way that happened.
Just the way that happened, yeah. So yeah, I play Fox. Bit of a nothing naturally. Well, yeah, he can't make the playoffs, and hopefully I'm going to make them. So Pint Lodgers, Patrick's last two on the spin, plays Nasib. Patrick 7-3, Nasib 6-4. So big game there, playoff wise. Bucking Pats plays Lucky Jimmy's, both 4-6. So the winner of that will put themselves
still on the outside.
Yeah, the loser of that, you'd have to say, is
done and done.
See you later. Champagne Fever plays Choppers 6-4 against 4-6. Choppers needs to win that to stay alive for the playoff race.
At this stage, I would think you'd need
8 wins will get you in.
8 will get you in.
Yeah.
I'm on 5-5 at the moment. Of 3,
7 could get you in.
I reckon if I win my 2 last games, because they're kind of a lot of them are mid-table clashes as well. So obviously, if I win one, I put somebody else down.
Yeah.
It's a bit like running across the crowd, like you're trying to keep yourself up and kick the other fella down at the same time. Yeah.
Okay, then Brady is a cheat. Terrible team name. Decky is playing Duffs.
That's a nice W. So yeah,
nice win for Decky
coming
there.
to a bit of form at the right time.
Yeah, Decky's going for the 1 seed now. With a win there, he'll move him to 8-3. Finally, big match of the week. Polly's play 4 floors. If Mikey loses this, he's in big trouble for not making the playoffs.
Deepo Bruno, like, just look at Polly.
Polly's team is phenomenally good at the moment, with Langford leading the line.
Like,
great pickup.
I'll be honest with you, I've actually taken my eye off the ball a bit this year. Like, I was way more on top of it last year, but just doing the podcasts and stuff, you're not as tuned into your own game. That's what I find anyway.
Well, I can't agree. I'm well tuned in. Podcast isn't a distraction for me, you see.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Well, you just haven't been tuned in.
You haven't.
You don't commit totally to this league.
You don't spend half the day looking for wires that somebody's after robbing or somewhere gone missing.
You gotta play.
I spend my days looking for wires.
I've always said the key to doing well in this league is playing the waiver wire well. Yeah. And that's a piece of advice, folks, from the defending champion and current top of the table team.
Yeah, I haven't really picked up that many goodies. Well, I suppose I did pick up 1 or 2 guys, but they just seem to have fallen by the wayside again. All right, lads.
We'll wrap it up for this week, week 11.
Wrap it up. So we just give you a bit of the old Raiders.
Hopefully they get again this week. Sayonara.
See you, boys. See you, boys.